So I picked the Sixers to make the finals before the year. And I don't believe in changing predictions. But if I did believe in changing predictions, given how they played the first dozen games, I would have. Because they did not look like forget the best team. They didn't look like one of the 3 best teams in the East through the first dozen games of the year. But Jimmy Butler changed some things now. Now, if they play the Raptors in a series, they have 3 of the 4 best players. If they play the Bucks in a series, they have 3 of the 4 best players. If they play the Celtics in a series, they might have the 3 best players and certainly 3 of the 4 best players. Now, a team that was lacking depth just got even more shallow, but this is...
But what does that starting 5 look like now?
Well, I mean, it looks like you've got 3 legit all-stars, 1 superstar in Embiid, 1 legit top 15 guy in Butler, and a guy in Ben Simmons who hasn't developed this year the way I would have hoped, but was playing at an all-star caliber his rookie year, even if he just stays at that level. This is an enormous addition without sacrificing much of any of their future, see?
Yeah, I'm concerned about Philadelphia for a couple reasons. In the trade, they gave up 2 shooters. Now, this is a team that don't have a bunch of shooters. Now, if Ben Simmons had come back this offseason, which I said he wasn't, with a jump shot, because people laugh and joke, but when you can't shoot the basketball, it hinders how good you can be. And, yeah, on paper, you can say, yeah, they play Toronto in the series, they got 3 of the 4 best players. They're going to need it because their bench stinks.
Yes.
And how is Jimmy Butler going to play? Is he going to be a perimeter player? Is he going to be a spot-up 3-point shooter? Because he's got to be with this team because there's not enough room to drive. Their point guard can't shoot. He's got to drive. Ben Simmons, he can't shoot. He's got to drive. So Joel Embiid, I know he can shoot the 3, but he's a post-up presence that they said this year, we want to go back to old-school basketball, put him in the post. It's hard to do that when you don't have the shooter. So I just want to see the style for which they're going to develop because, to me, when you get in a 7-game series against Boston, against Toronto, they're going to have a spacing problem. Joel Embiid has been spectacular this season. But the other guys are not developing. Fultz, their point guard, is not developing. Ben Simmons, you could say he's playing at an all-star level. He's not developing an outside shot. So those things become a problem.
Listen, all of the points about the guys other than Embiid, well, I agree with the Embiid point as well, but all of them are well taken. But I don't want to overanalyze this. Embiid is playing like the league MVP. Embiid and Steph Curry are playing better than any 2 players in the league, and Steph's injured right now. So right now, Embiid's playing like the league MVP. He put up another 40 and near 20 game over the weekend. He has been so good. That team just added one of the best 2-way players in the entire league and gave up 2 guys that Covington for the last year and a half and Sarge just for this year, I thought were underperforming. So Philly just got, I think, considerably better. The Simmons stuff is a concern, and for me, it's really disappointing. You know, I said last year, Ben Simmons has best player in the league potential. He didn't get better between year 1 and year 2.
As a public, you should never assume that guys are going to get a jump shot. Like, we didn't know Michael Jordan was going to be who he was because we didn't know if he was going to be able to shoot.
Right.
We did not predict LeBron would be able to do 27, 8, and 8. Why? Because we didn't know. Man, how good is he ultimately going to be able to shoot? In this modern basketball, this NBA, with that 3-point line, you have to be able to maximize your total skill, to be able to maximize his size, you got to be able to shoot at least from 15 feet.
Sure.
Giannis did it. Giannis moved that back out to the 3-point line. That's why we have him in the conversation of one day going to be the greatest basketball player. Shooting the ball from the perimeter, it's a necessary evil to be able to have in the NBA.
Nick, why would the Timberwolves pass on Houston's offer of 4 first-round picks for Philadelphia's offer?
All right, so I think some people saw this trade and they said, oh, that Houston stuff must have been misreported. It was not. I can tell you absolutely unequivocally, Houston made multiple offers, all of which involved at least 3, and some of which involved 4 first-round picks. But this is the problem when the guy who's pulling the trigger on the trade is also the head coach. Tom Thibodeau wanted the following things: players, not picks, veteran players, not young players, and to send him out east instead of west so he wasn't buttressing a potential team they're fighting with for the playoffs. When you have that narrow of a window that you're looking for, you're not going to get your best offer. You're not going to do the best because Tom Thibodeau knows What's good are picks and young players if I get fired? He made, I think, the best trade for Tom Thibodeau, but not the best trade for the Timberwolves, which that franchise does. Their fans have been through a lot, and I think deserve better than someone who's worried about his own interests.
Wait, quickly, give us a little expansion. Why not a great move for the Timberwolves?
Because I don't think they got the best package possible. Like, Sarge is fine. Covington was a good story who has regressed over the last year. And you got no picks, 0 picks out of this? Like, no one that can be a blue chipper out of this?
If you want some inside information on what kind of deal you thought the Timberwolves were going to make, read Kevin Garnett's commentary when they were saying they were going to trade for Jimmy Butler. And Kevin Garnett, what he said about Glenn Taylor, the owner. He said he was going to screw it up. He's going to mess this up. And they said, Kevin, why is he going to mess this up? He said, because he don't know anything about basketball. They messed this one up. You should never give up those players for Jimmy Butler. Tremendous asset, and as Nick confirmed, it's real. What Houston offered those 4 first-round picks, like that was real.
But now you look at Minnesota with Jimmy Butler. They got the wrong end of the trade on the front end, getting rid of Zach LaVine, who's top 5 in the NBA right now in scoring, and Lauri Markkanen, and then on the back end, only getting this back. That's on both sides. They messed up the Jimmy Butler transaction.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.